Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Light Sports Ramble. As always, my pleasure to come to you this evening. For those of you listening in, this is a historic Light Sports Ramble. It will be the last ever published Light Sports Ramble in Indiana. Now, unless I visit. But I am leaving Indiana, and I know on Twitter people are saying, well, Troy, what's going on? Why are you leaving Indiana? I've had the opportunity, and I thank God for an opportunity with my company to actually go and run my own campus. And so I look forward to this new exciting opportunity in my life. I start my position on Monday, and therefore I am heading out of Indy, and it's time to start a new chapter in my life. Now, this will not affect the Light Sports Ramble, folks. I am never giving up the Light Sports Ramble. Can you believe this is episode 70? Yes, episode 70. Some big time talk radio could call me up and say, hey, Troy, come be our sports guy. I would do it in a New York minute. I would turn the car around right now and go wherever they wanted me to go if I could have my own radio show. But I would still do the ramble. I love chatting with you on my way to my destinations. It's a great thing. I just pick the phone up, I start talking sports. It's awesome. But with that said, we're going to get into the Friday night episode. Everyone knows it is upset special. And so for the new listeners, I watch the power rankings. I look at them. I ramble about them earlier in the week. And so when I do my official picks for the weekend, if I happen to pick a team that is ranked lower in the power rankings, that is considered an upset. On the year, I'm 8-5. And I really have to rebound after last week's 9-7 overall performance. This week, I picked 5 upsets. I'm already 0-1. I picked the Rams to beat the 49ers. And I did it because of the historic games that the Rams and 49ers have played. The Rams have traditionally played the 49ers tough the last couple of years. And nothing can be said about last night's game other than they went in and laid an egg. Frank Gore tore them apart, which was good for me because he's my fantasy back in one of my leagues. 24 points. Thank you, Mr. Gore. I appreciate it. But the 49ers just manhandled the Rams last night and said, this is still our division. And they put their foot down last night, and I think they were trying to make a statement, which I thought they did. I mean, they played a good game. So that said, I'm 0-1 already, but I got 4 other upset picks. First, Chicago at Detroit. I said earlier in the week, no way is Chicago the 4th best team in the NFL right now. No way. Not buying it, not buying into it. Giving them credit. They're having a great start. They're playing good football. But the Vikings hung around. The Vikings hung around with the Bears. And yeah, the Bears killed the Steelers, but I said this last week. The Steelers are not that good. Now, people will argue, hey, Troy, the Lions are hurt. Johnson's nicked up. Bush is nicked up. Burleson is hurt. I understand that. But I think the Lions have a very good defense. I think that the Lions' front 7 is going to be able to get to Jay Cutler. And when they get to Jay Cutler will become Jay Cutler again. I've said this 3, 4, 5 times already this season. At some point in some game, Jay Cutler is going to return to Jay Cutler form, which is bad decision making and turnovers. The line has done a good job, but if you watch any of the games, there are times when they lapse, and when they lapse and Jay Cutler is under pressure, he makes mistakes. I see the Lions getting after Jay Cutler, and I see mistakes coming, and that's the difference in a close game. But I think Detroit knocks off the Bears and gives them their first loss of the year. The next game that I have on the slate, and this, I looked at it, I debated it. If I was in a confidence pick league, I don't know where I'd put this, but it wouldn't be worth a lot of points. But it is Arizona at Tampa Bay. Not real impressed with Arizona, really not impressed with Tampa Bay. May not even flip onto this game. I don't have any fantasy value in it. I don't see any other value in this game. Maybe to see how Glennon does for Tampa Bay, since he is a rookie and it's his first start. I purely took the Buccaneers for two reasons. One, the game's at home. Two, defensively, I think they have a better defense. So I'm going to give the edge to Tampa Bay at home in probably what I'm going to call not a very exciting game. Now, with that said, it'll probably turn out to be one of the best games of the weekend. But there's no real wow value in this, except of all the controversy around Tampa Bay and benching Freeman and Schiano losing control of his team. But I see the Buccaneers with their defense giving Arizona a little bit of a fit and pulling out a victory at home. My next upset, Dallas at San Diego. It's a close game. This is one of those toss-up games. I like what San Diego's been doing. And I think with Dallas traveling to San Diego, I like what San Diego has done in a full body of work. I think they're better than we thought they were going to be. I think Rivers is a little bit more comfortable this year. And I think a lot of that has to do with McCoy and the offense. And so I'm also looking at the Cowboys, and I'm not real sold on their running game. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to control the game with the run. And I just think San Diego has enough at home to hold on and beat the Cowboys. Probably a touchdown or a field goal game is what I'm thinking. But it could go either way. This is really one of those toss-up games. And when I looked at it, I went down and I looked at quarterback play. And I looked at quarterback play from the sense of, who do I think is not going to make the mistake? And I gave the edge to Phillip Rivers in this one. So I picked San Diego over Dallas at home. And then my last upset pick is New England and Atlanta. Atlanta could be one of the biggest disappointments. Could very well be one of the biggest disappointing stories this season in the NFL. Off to a 1-2 start. Steven Jackson is now hurt. But I haven't been impressed with New England. Yeah, they're 3-0. They just win. But they haven't done it in convincing fashion. I think the Falcons are probably the best team that they've faced so far in the season. And I think with those young receivers and not really having an identity on defense yet, I think the Falcons use this game to turn things around and get to 2-2. And I think they knock off New England at home. Now, there's a couple of other good games on the slate. And the one game that I'm really excited about watching is the Dolphins and the Saints on Monday night. I think that's going to be one great game. Because I think Tannehill's playing really well, taking care of the ball. And I think the Saints are a surprise. I don't think many people thought they'd be 3-0 at this point. I didn't. There's no way I thought the Saints would be 3-0. Maybe Peyton is the answer. Maybe they needed their coach. Because they lost some players and he's really getting the most out of that team right now. And I agree with where the Saints are ranked in the power rankings. They deserve to be near the top. They're playing good football. I'm taking the Saints in the game because it's at home. And I think the Saints are a veteran team. And I know the Dolphins probably not going to say they're surprised to be 3-0, but they're surprised. critics are surprised. I didn't think the Dolphins would be 3-0 either. But that's going to be a great matchup on Monday night. So with that said, folks, this is my last ever Red Light Sports Ramble in Indiana. I look forward to the weekend. Tomorrow night, Badgers, Ohio State. Evan and I talked about it yesterday on the Ramble. Can't wait to watch that game. Should be a really good one. You know, I had talked about a little bit of what I think is going to happen. I really hope the Badgers let Stave start throwing the ball early in the game to try and spread out the Buckeye defense to open up Gordon. Because if they can establish that run and a little bit of a passing game, I think they have a chance. The Buckeyes are by far a better team, but I think if Stave can muster up any kind of passing game tomorrow, they can at least hang and have a chance to beat the Buckeyes. And that would be great. That would be purely awesome. So I'm looking forward to this weekend in football, folks. Hopefully I'll see you Monday. But if not, like I said, no worries. The Red Light Sports Ramble will go on, and I will see you at the next red light. Have a good weekend, folks. Safe travels if you're going anywhere. Talk to you soon.